What if a single act of kindness invited a blessing so powerful it could feed a whole village, yet destroy anyone who touched it with greed? Long before the land knew wide roads and busy travelers, before trust between strangers thinned like old cloth, there lay a village called Obiagu, resting quietly between thick forests and slow-moving rivers. At dawn, mist clung to the treetops, and at dusk, smoke from cooking fires rose like prayers into the sky. To outsiders, Obiagu seemed peaceful, even blessed. But those who lived there carried a different truth in their bones. Life in Obiagu was a daily negotiation with hardship. The soil was stubborn, the rains unpredictable, and hunger a familiar visitor. Over time, the villagers learned to depend on themselves alone. Help was given only when something could be gained in return. Kindness, they believed, invited loss. The elders often repeated an old saying, "A person who shares today may starve tomorrow." Children grew up hearing it, adults repeated it, and soon it hardened into an unspoken law. Hearts closed quietly, one by one. It was in such a place that Nwakaego lived. She stayed at the far edge of the village, in a small mud house roofed with rusted zinc, together with her widowed aunt, Uduaku. The house leaned slightly to one side, as though tired of standing, but it sheltered them from rain and cold. Nwakaego had lived there since she was a child, since sickness had carried her parents away during a dark season the village preferred not to remember. She did not remember much about her parents' faces anymore, but she remembered hunger. She remembered nights when sleep came empty-handed and mornings that arrived too soon. From those years, Nwakaego learned patience, endurance, and silence. Despite everything, her heart never turned bitter. Every 4 days, the village drum announced market day. The sound carried across the fields and riverbanks, calling traders from neighboring villages. The market square came alive with voices, bargaining, laughter, and dust. Palm oil shimmered in bottles, yams were stacked like towers, baskets overflowed with vegetables, and the smell of dried fish hung thick in the air. Nwakaego came with modest goods, smoked fish and bitter leaf wrapped neatly in banana leaves. She sat behind her low wooden stall, hoping the day would be kind. Some days she sold enough to eat well. Many days she did not. Yet she had a habit the others found strange. Every market morning, before speaking to a single customer, Nwakaego poured a small bowl of water on the ground. She bowed her head and whispered words only the earth could hear. She thanked her God, her ancestors, and life itself, whether the day turned good or bad. People noticed. Some laughed under their breath, others mocked openly. "What will gratitude buy you?" they asked. Nwakaego never answered. She simply returned to her store. Her aunt worried about her. "This world is not gentle," Uduaku warned, her voice shaped by many disappointments. "Soft hearts are easily broken. Guard yourself." Nwakaego nodded each time, but something deep inside her refused to harden. One market day, when the sun burned fiercely overhead and shadows hid beneath baskets and tables, an old man appeared at the edge of the square. He looked older than memory itself. His back bent forward like a burdened question. His wrapper had lost all color, and his skin hung loosely on his bones. In his hand was a carved walking stick, etched with symbols worn smooth by time. He moved slowly from stall to store. "I am hungry," he said calmly. "Let me eat." One after another, traders waved him away. Go and find your people. This is not a charity place. Leave before trouble finds you." The old man did not argue. He simply nodded and moved on, until he stopped before Nwakaego. She looked up and met his eyes. Something stirred in her chest, a strange feeling of familiarity, as though her spirit recognized him even when her mind could not. "I am hungry," he repeated. Nwakaego looked down at her fish. That food would decide how long she and her aunt would eat. Hunger waited patiently at home. She hesitated. Then she wrapped 2 fish and placed them gently in his hands. "Eat," she said quietly. "It is all I have today." The old man studied her face for a long moment. "Your hands are light, but your heart is heavy with wisdom." From under his wrapper, he brought out a small, plain clay calabash. "Take this. Do not sell it. Do not give it away, and never open it at night." Before she could speak, he was gone, as though the air itself had swallowed him. Laughter rose around her. "Fish for clay," someone mocked. Nwakaego carried the calabash home. That night, hunger returned. Their pot was nearly empty. The calabash sat quietly in the corner, saying nothing. Fear whispered. Temptation answered. But Nwakaego waited until dawn. When she opened it, her breath caught. Inside lay smoked fish, fresh, abundant, impossible. Her aunt wept in disbelief. Day after day, the calabash never emptied. Yet Nwakaego told no one. But greed has eyes. Ifunanya, restless and sharp-minded, watched closely. One night, she stole the calabash and opened it in darkness. The fish turned to ash. Voices filled her ears. By morning, her hair had turned white. Fear spread through Obiagu like fire. Then famine came. Fields dried, markets emptied, children cried in their sleep. Faced with the greatest choice of her life, Nwakaego shared carefully, not for praise, not for power, but to remain human. One night, the old man returned, no longer bent or weak. "You passed," he said, "but Obiagu still has a choice." At dawn, the calabash became ordinary clay. Years later, Obiagu remembered. Some hearts changed, some did not, and the ancestors watched. If you are given a blessing that could feed many, but also reveal greed, fear, and truth, what would you do with it? Think carefully. Your answer may reveal the kind of heart you carry. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting stories. Bye.